In the age of AI brain rot posting and a constant, overwhelming flow of half-true doom spiral internet content, sometimes I yearn for what social media used to be. Just people posting moments of their lives, unfiltered, making little time capsules for their future selves. Then I usually realize I'm romanticizing that era, and it was a cesspool back then too, just with less brand integrations. Back in my day, we had the Denny's Tumblr account, and it was fun. It was advertising too, but it was new at the time. Within all of this new age bleakness though, there is one shining star. What if I told you that there used to be a platform that combined the serenity of Animal Crossing with a portal to meet like-minded Nintendo fans and share your New Leaf creations? Well, I'd be giving you an incredibly misleading description of Animal Crossing Plaza. Those words are all somewhat true, but the picture they paint is much more reminiscent of a botanical garden than the Walmart seed starter kit reality. I love obscure Animal Crossing topics. After 4 years of discussing New Horizons, you start to gain somewhat of a fondness for shit like the old reality TV style ads in the completely forgotten Animal Crossing movie. That is why I come to you today with one of the series' half-formed lab-created children. In November of 2012, coinciding with the launch of the Wii U, Nintendo released their very own social network, the Miiverse. The Miiverse was intended to be a point of connection for Nintendo players of all types to meet up, discuss their favorite games, and make new friends. That being said, you may be familiar with Miiverse's work through posts like, "Okay, fine, I'm a homosexual, 3 people gave this a yeah." And that's big enough for me. Deleting that from my memory would be like burning my own personal Library of Alexandria. In order to help drum up hype for Nintendo's newfangled social media, they created a companion app to introduce New Leaf players to the new and exciting Miiverse community. Animal Crossing Plaza, an app that doesn't understand why or how it was created, is today's Pretty Little Princess. This is a stupid video on a stupid topic, and if you watch it all the way to the end and feel the need to tell me that, I would like to let you know now that I'm taking away your right to do so. Let's get cracking. Now, I think most of the population is well aware that the Wii U era was a dark and sinister time for Nintendo. The console's abysmal sales figures and cold public reception meant that the company flailed miserably in the rising water for a bit while they tried to clean up their own mess. If you're a fan of electronic arts, what was happening during the Wii U era is similar to what happens every single day for them. This stretch of years was particularly rough for avid Animal Crossing fans, as it's primarily remembered for Amiibo Festival, the spin-off digital board game that everyone says they refuse to talk about but actually talk about quite a bit. It was lazy, rushed, and underdeveloped, and mostly existed to sell Amiibo figurines. Its release for the Wii U in 2015 was yet another drop in the bucket of iffy decisions from Nintendo, but before Amiibo Festival, we had Animal Crossing Plaza. So in order to see the full Plaza picture, we have to have a better grasp on what Miiverse actually was. Miiverse used a forum-adjacent approach containing separate community areas dedicated to different games and IPs. You can think of these communities sort of like subreddits where people could cluster together and discuss Luigi's Mansion or fucking whatever. You could find communities for more popular titles like Zelda or Mario, or you could scroll down a little bit further and check out Hulu Plus, logging on to speak to my friends in the Tank community. Users could post photos, text, drawings, and the occasional video on the platform, and in theory have normal conversations with other human beings. Miiverse was built directly into the Wii U system menu and eventually the 3DS's too. This meant that anyone with either console was at some point just handed Miiverse. And that was arguably more important than the invention of the printing press. A browser-based version was also introduced in 2013, so you could access the site outside of your console. The Wii U had a home menu type screen called Wara Wara Plaza, which showed a bunch of Miis in a fashion similar to the Wii's Mii channel. Wara Wara Plaza was connected to Miiverse and would display Miiverse user Miis and posts. As far as I can tell, these posts seem to be fairly random and not really curated in any meaningful way. This brings us to Animal Crossing Plaza, and the shared wording in the two names might give you a hint on where this is going. ACP, which could be downloaded from the eShop, showed a large town tree in the center of the screen, which villagers and special characters would crowd around. Each character could be interacted with, which would allow you to post to Miiverse about them and see posts related to them. For example, if Blue Bear was at my Plaza and I, for some reason, wanted to tell the world exactly how I felt about Blue Bear, I could walk up to her and do just that. NPCs would walk around and discuss how much they wanted to be posted about or share the occasional fun fact. Sometimes you could see pictures or drawings, but the app was directly tied to the Animal Crossing Miiverse community, so it provided narrow access to the platform itself. Players would be able to import screenshots from New Leaf by inserting a 3DS SD card into the Wii U, which makes me really grateful that we have the send to phone function on the Switch now. SD cards just incite a primal rage in me that I can't really understand. It's one tiny chip of plastic. Why are some of them $100? Riddle me this, God. This was one of the easier ways to share New Leaf photos though, and at the time, the Miiverse 3DS app wasn't available yet, so if you wanted the entirety of Miiverse to see your new bench, you had to pony up and purchase a Wii U. Animal Crossing Plaza was also used as a way for Nintendo to share news about New Leaf and to allow players to share custom design QR codes for the game. It acted a lot like Isabelle's broadcast in New Horizons in the fact that it sometimes shared information. Once you downloaded the app, you'd be able to make a profile, which included your town name, character name, and dream address. What this was really there for, I don't know. I don't know why this app was here. In November of 2013, the app received its first and only update, which added resident registration. Resident registration had users register their New Leaf neighbors and bring them to the plaza to interact with, which seems like an odd thing to leave out of the original build, but that's not my thing. Opinion polls were also added, which would be posted by Nintendo once a month and ask people questions like what Animal Crossing character would make the best secretary and who is the neighbor of the year. Every single announcement article about this app and its updates reads to me like the person writing it is being held at gunpoint. John Nintendo has a picture of their family taped to the tripod and is screaming at them to sound excited. This one quote from a Nintendo Life article calls people who haven't downloaded it yet doubters, which made me giggle a little. I'm putting Animal Crossing Plaza doubters on my DNI on Tumblr as we speak. You may have noticed that the interface looks really nice for New Leaf era models, even in comparison to Amiibo Festival, which wasn't just a social media portal. I would say it's a full game, but we both know it's not. The lighting is lovely, the models are pretty damn smooth, it just looks very polished, which is an odd choice considering that Animal Crossing Plaza was always intended to be a temporary release. Nintendo planned to keep the service online until 2014 and then stop support for it, which is exactly what happened. You could either take that to mean that they really banked on the Plaza being a smash hit, or that they simply didn't want to put any of that effort into improving models for Amiibo Festival. Personally, the optimist in me wants to believe that some Nintendo employee loved Animal Crossing Plaza so much that they fucking toiled over it. Just one single person put their entire heart and soul into it. It was also the only app like this available, save for the original Wara Wara Plaza, which is interesting to me. You'd almost assume that they'd put other variants of this together for giant IPs like Smash, Zelda, and the like if their goal was to bring more people into Miiverse, but there was just this. Of course, New Leaf did do quite well, but it was no Pokemon, you know? And as soon as this program hit its 2-year mark, it was removed from the eShop, and posting to the Animal Crossing community became unavailable. Miiverse itself did not die with Animal Crossing Plaza, though. It lived on for a full 3 years more, until 2017. The various communities it housed became almost solely dedicated to, putting it elegantly, shitposting. Most memories of Miiverse that people hold dear highlight that people were committed to using it as a gateway to fucking around. Why Can't Metroid Crawl, The Water Guy, though I think he was pretty sincere, My Beloved Homosexual Post, all of them are just silly. Understandably so too. I think a Nintendo-run social media site about Nintendo is hard to wrap your head around if you take it too seriously. I think sending the executives the idea of Miiverse was some sort of divine punishment for Nintendo, a cosmic kick in the head for the Wii U crimes. There is absolutely no way on Earth that Miiverse would have lived on as intended, and that can be very quickly understood by going on the internet in general, yet they decided to make it, and Animal Crossing Plaza too, the most unnecessary application on Earth that lived until it died and did absolutely nothing more. The director of New Leaf and producer of Plaza, Aya Kyogoku, issued a statement in the app's final days. Posted to Miiverse, it read, "It's already December, and that means only a few weeks left before the Animal Crossing Plaza service comes to an end. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's downloaded and enjoyed Animal Crossing Plaza, and to those of you who haven't, why not take this final chance? Animal Crossing Plaza will remain available on Nintendo eShop until 22nd December 2014. The end of Animal Crossing Plaza service also means that after 31st December, the monthly themed surveys will stop, and it will no longer be possible to post to the Animal Crossing series community. From next year on, you will only be able to view existing posts in the community, so please take the chance to post to your heart's content in the coming days, and be sure to vote in the final survey, which will decide who is the neighbor of the year in 2014. Even though you won't be able to post to the community anymore, you will still be able to visit all your favorite characters in the plaza after the service finishes, as long as you've already downloaded Animal Crossing Plaza. So be sure to drop by whenever it takes your fancy. Don't be a stranger. And that's all. That's it. The first time Animal Crossing characters were ever seen in HD was in an app that barely had a purpose. I told you at the beginning that this was a really stupid video, so I hope you weren't expecting me to pull some grand caper and make it not stupid. Miiverse itself has been really well archived, with an entire website called Archiverse being dedicated to preserving it. Animal Crossing Plaza, on the other hand, now exists only in a few scattered videos and articles. It's probably still on a few Wii U's somewhere too. The fact that it really didn't do anything of note other than a few small helpful features just makes me wonder if there were any avid users out there. Was anyone like crushed to bits when they found out it was gone? Did anyone visit the plaza every single day to talk to their villagers? There's a saying out there that a fandom exists for everything, and I'd like to know if there is one for this. For some reason, looking at this useless app brings me a lot of joy. I don't know why, but the lack of functions endears me to it. It's small, it's cozy, and it didn't need to be made, so I pass on the knowledge of Animal Crossing Plaza to you, and I hope it brings you the same weird joy. That's all I have for you today. If you want to learn more about Miiverse, I highly suggest Izzy's breakdown video on it, which also goes into the twisted tale of Miiverse clones. Although the Miiverse, the Wii U, and Animal Crossing Plaza have all been laid to rest, one thing remains. I am in fact a homosexual. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you don't feel like your time was wasted, because I do. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you to all of my members. Stay safe, stay wonderful, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.